Hi guys, welcome to this Microsoft Word session. This is the basic Word session. We're going to look at basic formatting of fonts, font styles and other font features. Basically this group at the top where it says fonts, we're going to look at some of the things in there. Starting off, we're just going to type some text on the screen and then I'm going to highlight this text. Now this area of the screen is called the selection area. When you move your mouse into this area, the white arrow points to the right. If I come a bit further across, it disappears. Now, quite a few people highlight text like that, which is not incorrect at all. I'm not saying that, but I tend to tell people to get your mouse into the selection area, click once, it will highlight the line. If we had a paragraph, as you'll see later, 2 clicks will highlight the paragraph. But first of all, I've highlighted the line of text that I want to manipulate. So what I'm going to do on this one, I want to make this one bold and I want to change the font to Algerian and I want to change the font size to 16 for example. And I'm going to click at the end of that line, type a few characters, it's picked it up. Now I'm going to change the font on every line to show people how this works. So I want to now reset this back to the default font. So I could go back up, change the font there, the size there, take the bold off, or I could use this key command, Control and Spacebar, which puts it back to the default font. Then I can type a new line of text, because this one, I'm highlighting it, I want to underline it. Now, you'll notice when you highlight text, you get this mini toolbar coming up with many of the features that are repeated at the top there, the font block. So for underline, I can just click this button, or I could click that button, or as you saw there, when you point to the underline feature, it tells you the key command, Control U. But I'm just going to click that and then do a space to see, so you can see that's on there. So just see, there it's on. Then I'm going to do Control Spacebar, type a few more characters to make sure it's off, and then press Enter. Next line of text I'm going to type, this one I want to be red and 20 point. So red, font color red, there's a font size 20 point, and again I'm going to type at the end of there and then do Control Spacebar, not Control Enter. There's another key command, Control Spacebar, puts that back to default, press Enter. Next one, highlighting it. Now I'm going to use just the key command. So highlight the paragraph. The key command to make it bold is Control B, to make it underline, Control U, and to make it italic, Control I. If I click at the end again, start typing, do a space, type test so you can see that. And then to knock that off, Control Spacebar, check it is off, back to normal, press Enter. Type in some more text, highlighting the line. So this time I want to increase the font. Now when you increase the font from this box, or the one at the top on the ribbon, it's going up, apart from the first couple, in twos. So from 12 onwards it's 2, 14, 16, etc. Now I can do what I'm doing here, just hover over this and see the preview, but I want to just explain a little key command. So I'm going to hold my control key down and use the right square bracket on the keyboard to increase that font. So Control square bracket, and you can see the numbers changing up at the top there. So that's the right square bracket to increase, the left square bracket to decrease on the control key. And if you don't know where the square brackets are on the keyboard, they are next to the letter P on the QWERTY keyboard. So that's one I use quite a lot. It's quite useful when you try to get text to fit into a box or something like that. Doing Control Spacebar at the end, type in, make sure it's back to normal. Next one, I'm just going to do or explain Superscript. So Word is set up by default to automatically place dates as ordinals, as they're called, as superscript. But if I type 23 degrees and I want it to be 23 degrees, I've typed the letter O there. I can manually do that myself by just highlighting it and clicking on this X with a 2 above it, and that will do the superscript. But then I must take off the superscript by doing Control Spacebar, otherwise I have a line of baby letters. Now, before anybody says or comments, I know you can insert symbols to do that, but if it's sitting there, it's quite quick to do. Now, Subscript, which is this one with the two down, works like this. If I type a chemical formula H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid, the 2 and the 4, which I can highlight them both with my control key, like that, they are subscript, down. And again, at the end of that one, I need to do Control Spacebar to knock that off to make sure it's back on as normal. Press Enter, and then I'm ready to type a new line. So new line, this time I want to use this feature, strike through, which puts a line through it. Now, strike through is a tool that Word uses when it's doing track changes, but you can also do it yourself. For a price, for example, you could have price with strike through on it. If I do Control Spacebar, just type that again, 23, put a pound sign there, 23. So like for sales and things like that, you can just highlight it and put the strike through. So that's more of a basic use of it. Control Spacebar at the end, take caps lock off as well, press Enter, type text. Now the next line, I'm going to use the hidden text feature, so I'm highlighting it. Now hidden text is not sitting in this block, so I need to go into Format Cells, or Format Font in this case, via this little arrow, and then I have some checkboxes, one of which is hidden. So I'm going to tick hidden, click OK, and then the text disappears. Now to see hidden text, you need to select this icon, Show Hide, which will show you the hidden text. Basically shows you where you've pressed enter. It shows you tab markers and space markers and page breaks there, which I did by accident earlier on. Now you might be thinking, why would I use hidden text if you need to have show hide on to see it? Well, if I can explain that, if I just take this off for a minute, if I do a small little table, say I do a 3x3 table, so just type name, phone, email. What I use it for, or I've seen it used, is to give on-screen instructions basically. So in this block at the end, maybe you've got a receptionist who's going to fill this information in, or it's a form that you want people to fill in and you want to give them instructions. If you use hidden text, those instructions do not print off. So I'll just show you that if I can. So let's say surname only. Surname only, mobile, and work email. So if I highlight these and select hidden text, right there, hidden text, tick OK, they will disappear. And then maybe I don't want no border there. And put a right border back on there. So I can't see that text unless I click on the show hide, and there it is. If I do print preview now, so I've got print preview up here. No, so I'll just go file print. Basically you won't see that hidden text. So that's what hidden text, or an example of hidden text. Now I'm just going to close this one down using Control W, and then I'm going to press N. See the underline on the N and the underline on the S, which means you can just press those keys. So I'm just going to press N for no, because I don't want to save that, which brings me back to this one. Now, show hide off, I can't see it. Show hide on, I can see it. So I would need to see it to take off the hidden text. So if I go back into the font block and take the tick off, click OK to that, and then I can see it, and I can take the show hide off. So that's some basic formatting in Word. Now if I want to put all these lines back to the default, I'll just select them all, or I could use the key command Control A to select all, and then do Control Spacebar, which will put everything back to the default settings. So that's some basic stuff in Word, and that's the end of this little session. Thank you for your time.